Here we have the NBA agreeing to a collective $76 billion over 11 years. In 2021, the NFL also signed an 11-year deal. This was for $111 billion. And then recently, we have the UFC signing a 7-year, $7.7 billion deal. Of course, that means it averages at a $1.1 billion annual revenue. Before we continue on, I noticed the ones. I don't know what's happening here, but something's happening here. But I'm going to leave it because I don't know what that something is. So let's continue on with Roger Goodell and Adam Silver. They're the beneficiaries of circumstance. And I don't know how good at their jobs they are. I don't know how much they've done to improve the product and really grow the sport, the league. But I do know that they are the commissioners at the exact right time in history, because right along with their tenure, we have the growth and now the peak of sports betting. And then we also have streaming rights to live events reaching a super premium. So this means that they were always going to have record-setting deals. As long as the league isn't on fire, you could have anybody at the commissioner's seat, and it was going to work out, right? Because it's very valuable right now to have a viable major sports league. So definitely the beneficiaries of circumstance. Again, maybe they're good otherwise. I don't know that, but I'm sure that the team owners are very, very happy with this record-breaking revenue. But I can never tell if the owners actually know whether or not the commissioners are doing anything good, or if they're just looking at this as money's coming in, it's more money than previously. Yes, let's re-up the deal here. I think Roger Goodell is at something like $50 annually. I don't think there's any way that he's worth $50 annually, but maybe he is. But if at the very least, he is definitely lucky. He's been very fortunate to be the commissioner at this time in the league's history. And as for Dana White, he's done a really bad job lately, and he's lost his focus. He's not promoting the UFC as much, and we see him. The cards have been watered down to the point they are, it's almost like there's no juice there. But nevertheless, we see the UFC also prosper from this point in time. And shouldn't the very fact that all three leagues reached record-breaking numbers tell you something, that it isn't necessarily about the individual league? So we'll continue on with a related topic, which is Roger Goodell trying to renegotiate that record-setting deal that I just talked about. So let's now go to the CNBC article, and here we see the heading: NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says league could renegotiate media deals as soon as 2026. So the key bullet points here are the NFL could begin renegotiating. Goodell said he believes the NFL is leaving money on the table based on the significant increase in media revenue for other leagues like the NBA and NHL. No. If I am a media partner, I am rejecting Roger Goodell. We're not having this discussion. This is absolutely ridiculous. You do not get the security of the long-term deal and then also opt out as soon as things start going well for me and try to capture all of the value. You have to let the partners make some money. Roger Goodell's trying to take all of the money. We're not renegotiating this at all whatsoever. That was the whole point of the first negotiation. You got the 11-year deal. Did you not know it was 11 years at the time you agreed to an 11-year deal? That's the whole point. It's a long-term deal. You got a lot of money, and part of that is if things go well, we stand to benefit from that. So continuing on down, we have this quote, and it's from Roger Goodell. I think our partners would want to sit down and talk to us at any time, and we continue to dialogue with them. I like that opportunity. Obviously, it's not going to happen this year, but it could happen as early as next year. That could happen. There's no way. There is no way we are renegotiating this. If I wouldn't be necessarily surprised if the media partners are open to it, because who even knows why, but there's no way. There's no way we're talking about this. You already got the long-term deal. You've got a lot of money. It's over. It's over. And then so let's continue on. We have this second quote. The reason why we felt so strongly about the option is the landscape is changing. Well, you have a long-term deal. It could be a long-term deal with the benefit of having that stability and security of it. But I think the reality of it changes so quickly that you want to have the ability to move. You gave up your ability to move when you signed an 11-year deal. And then he continues, I think those options are going to give us a lot of flexibility to potentially go earlier. So that translates to me as I just want more money and I'm extremely greedy. And even though I have a contract, it doesn't matter. I'm going to try to coerce you to give me more money anyway. There's no way we are going to continue on with this deal until it's to our benefit to renegotiate, if at all. If not, if we don't have to, I think the NFL has an opt-out clause. It talks about it here. I think 2029, 2030. Yeah, we'll talk to you then, Roger Goodell.